Good day everyone, Brayden here, coming to you from a very nice, breezy day here in the parking at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I can see the Chinese theater in the distance, and we got something new to check out because the signage for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was just installed, and we're gonna see what it looks like. We're gonna see everything going on in Disney's Hollywood Studios, and then we're gonna head over to Epcot to see all the latest going on there. All that and more on this casual news update vlog, starting right now. Now we're here in the middle of Disney's Hollywood Studios, where you have this stage where they do the Star Wars stage show, you have the Hollywood Studios, the new logo, all of that. And lately people have been asking me, what is Disney gonna do with this stage once the Runaway Railway opens? Because it does kind of obscure the Runaway Railway from view. If you take away the stage, you can see the Runaway Railway, you can see the Chinese theater all the way from the front of Hollywood Boulevard when you first enter the park. And what a lot of people don't know is that these are actually parade floats. So what that means is Disney can easily collapse these and actually move them away. And they do that every night. They actually bring out the stage every morning, and that's why when you have the shows at night here in Hollywood Studios, you don't have the stages in the way, because they're not here. They're actually parade floats that they move to a warehouse that's near the entrance to the park. So what that means is, theoretically, if Disney wanted to, if they didn't want to do the Star Wars stage show, they could actually make it so all day you can look right down Hollywood Boulevard and see the Runaway Railway sign. And at night, when it's all lit up, that is going to be epic. So we might as well get right to it. We are here outside of the Chinese theater, and you can see the brand new, newly installed Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway neon signage. This is actually going to light up, as you can see in the concept art. This is all going to be lit up, and it is going to look absolutely epic. People have congregated here at the Chinese theater to get their photos with the new sign. There's a little sign out front of the attraction that says, "All aboard March 4th for the Runaway Railway." That sign looks awesome. One of my favorite things about this sign is that it's actual neon. You know, we're in an age where you can get LED neon, you know, that doesn't use very much electricity, it doesn't require nearly as much maintenance, but this is truly a classic Disney attraction, you know? They're bringing back all the old instruments they used to use to make the original Mickey Mouse shorts, to make the sound effects, and they're bringing back the neon in full force here with the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway signage. You can see here where Minnie's gonna be waving with her two neon hands. And then you have all the Runaway Railway lettering, which is all neoned up. And then you have Mickey there as well. This is so exciting. Now, I think it's pretty well known that the attraction I've been looking forward to most of anything Disney announced in years has been Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And it's for the reason, looking at this sign, you know, it's the classic neon, it's the classic look. When Kevin Rafferty, the Imagineer behind this project, the head Imagineer behind it, first announced it at the D23 Expo in 2017, he said he wants this to be like a classic attraction. He wants this to be something that's on the level of a Pirates of the Caribbean or a Haunted Mansion, in the aspect that it's an original story with original characters. And sure, you could argue that the characters on this attraction are intellectual property, and they are sort of the original intellectual property if you think about it, but the story is completely original and specifically made especially for this attraction. It wasn't made for a movie or anything else. It was specifically made to tell an amazing story for an attraction, for something you're actually riding, and that's where you're sort of seeing that Imagineering inspiration, where they actually get to do something unique and special and not based on anything that has come before it, that really makes it something that I've been very much looking forward to. And the fact that you have the trackless ride system and the animatronics and the 2.5D effect. I'm so excited for the Runaway Railway. And actually looking right here, you can see the recently installed FastPass signage, and there's also standby signage as well now for the attraction, which has led a lot of people to think that they are going to do standby and FastPass lines for this attraction when it opens on March 4th. Now, I personally am still very conflicted on this, because looking at Rise of Resistance right now, which is a very similar ride system, if not an identical ride system, it has been having a lot of downtime. A few days ago, it was down like the entire afternoon. So looking at something like that, I can't imagine Disney having you line up for an attraction, right? Like Runaway Railway here, and then it be down for hours and hours and hours. The interesting thing though is, if you look on the side of the Chinese theater right now, there are a bunch of these new street posts that were installed last year, where you can see they have this really cool Mickey pattern in the lights themselves, but those light posts also have fans. And you might be wondering, what are those fans for? They're not pointing towards anything, they're just pointing towards like random pathway. And if you look at the ground, you can see all the holes where they would put the queue poles, the stanchions. So there is a possibility that we have a standby queue that goes all the way out into the outdoor part of the queue and then wraps all the way around to those switchbacks. So this could be an attraction where it's a standby queue and we're waiting in line for a while, And by the way, if you're wondering how they're going to do the projection shows, with there being now this big neon 3D sign on the Chinese theater, there's actually a little projection screen that goes all the way down. So during the projection shows, it's a flat surface, and then they can actually project, if they want to, the Runaway Railway graphic right onto it, and then they can change it to all sorts of things. They can animate it, they can do anything they want with it for the nighttime shows. I think that's why I'm so excited for this attraction, because you're really going to be able to see the Imagineering vision unleashed. They have been unleashed on this project. They've been working on it for many, many years, and I think this is something that they're going to be very, very proud of, and I hope we are too. I hope it's awesome. By the way, one more thing of note, as I've been walking around talking about all this, I have been hearing, you know, some like cast members, some park managers in the area like pointing out where they're gonna put the FastPass, like they're talking about where they're gonna put, like if there's an overflow for the FastPass line. So that makes me think, you know, maybe we are going to see a physical queue for this attraction. The fact that people are talking about that, that seem to have some sort of authority on the operation of the attraction. But we'll see what happens March 4th, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that, because I'll be here to cover bright and early what exactly goes down. Over here on Sunset Boulevard, you can see the refurbishment work they're doing right now on the Legends of Hollywood facade. They've actually taken out all the neon and they're refurbishing it, which is really good to see, all the neon tubes. It's really good to see Disney maintaining that golden era Hollywood aesthetic. Now, the other thing we need to talk about here at Disney's Hollywood Studios is the changes with the FastPass tiers. Now, the big news with FastPass this past week is that starting on February 19th, now the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios will have FastPass here in Walt Disney World. But what's actually more exciting to me is the fact that leading up to Galaxy's Edge, what Disney did is they were worried there wouldn't be enough attractions to go around for everyone. So what they did is they put all the good attractions in one tier for your 3 FastPass allotments. And if you don't know, when they put them all in one tier, all the good attractions, you can only choose one tier 1 attraction with the current FastPass system. But starting February 19th, this is all changing, and now a bunch of attractions that used to be in the tier 1 column are now in the tier 2 secondary priority column, which means now not only is it possible to get a Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run FastPass, but also potentially you can get a Tower of Terror FastPass and a Rock and Roller Coaster FastPass Plus reservation, all with your 3 original FastPass allotments. And with those tier 2 secondary priority FastPasses, those are, once you use your first 3 FastPasses for the day and you go in to get more while you're in the park, usually you just have like high capacity attractions and shows left to choose from. But now, after using your original 3 FastPasses, you could potentially get a FastPass for something like Toy Story Mania as an additional FastPass for your day. So that's potentially a lot of awesome attractions you'll be able to ride in one day and skip the line for at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Remember, that goes into effect February 19th. That's the latest in Hollywood Studios. Now we're gonna head on to the Skyliner and see what's going on. Heading into Epcot from the Skyliner, you can see all the work they're doing right now with the Ratatouille attraction. It seems like the facade for the main ride building is just about complete. You can see from the Skyliner view how it's a little bit like two-dimensional. I don't really know what's going on there, budget cut wise or otherwise. Also seems like a lot of the focus right now is on the creperie area, and also where they're working on the guest pathway on the back portion, where you'll actually be walking up to the attraction itself. And then doing a loop around Future World, when you're heading in from the International Gateway side and you go past the Rose Walk, you can see how they've severed Innoventions West in half, which is just absolutely crazy. And as you get closer to Innoventions West, you can see that the back portion of the side that's still up is now completely walled off and ready for demolition. But then going around the front side, it's not walled off. You can still see where the Art of Disney used to be and all of that. So it's interesting when we'll see walls go up there. I suspect that will be very soon. The situation right now is you have a bypass walkway on the side going over to the Seas Pavilion, but the bypass walkway on the other end going towards the Universe of Energy, where Guardians is going, in the temporary mouse gear, that guest walkway has not been put in yet because they're still working on the pathway work on that side. Once that's opened, guests will be able to go either way into the temporary bypass walkways, and that'll bring you around each side of Future World, and then the entire center area will be completely walled off. So this middle area where you have Penn Central and all that, it is all going to be gone, and that is going to be pretty crazy to see. Also, speaking of bypass walkways, on the Future World East side, there's now a bypass walkway by Test Track that goes all the way over to the port of entry where you enter the World Showcase. I covered that in another video when it first opened, but that is a long pathway of just wall after wall after wall. Pretty crazy to see. As far as Test Track goes over there, it is still under refurbishment right now. We heard it was just a software update, but it looks like a little more than a software update looking at all the work they're doing on the track itself on the outside there, where they have panels down and scaffolding up and everything like that. So it's really good to see them doing some work on the ride system and everything like that for Test Track. And then looking at the Space Restaurant, which is the big news right now, what is going to happen with it? You can see that they're still doing work on the back back. There's still construction crews, there's still ladders, they're still doing painting and all sorts of stuff back there. So we're probably still a little ways away from Space 220. I was really thinking it was going to be this month in February, but it could be in March. You know, the Diz is reporting they believe it's going to open at the very end of March, and looking at the current construction progress, that might just be the case. Hopefully it opens sooner rather than later, but we will see on that. And then entering the World Showcase, right now I'm over here at the France Pavilion taking a look at the latest with Ratatouille. There's really not much in the way of things to see from the front here. It's just the pathway where you're actually going to enter. You can see the walls for it. Now we're gonna head over to the American Adventure because they have just installed the barbecue smoker for the new Regal Eagle barbecue restaurant. Here they have the spin art bicycle painting where you can actually spin the bike and create a design. That is so cool. So everyone, we've arrived here at the future site of the Regal Eagle barbecue restaurant, and over here it's all walls, but if you look here we have some rolling planters, and if you look through these planters you can see where that smoker is. And Blog Mickey got a really good photo, I think over these bushes or something like that, where you can see all the work going on, where you can see the smoker that is now there in the center of the area. Also through these rolling bushes you can sort of see where they're putting together the new seating area, all the new picnic tables and stuff. Also right now there's a guy actually painting on the top of the future location, the indoor portion of what used to be the Liberty Inn. Very cool. You can even see the future signage above the entrance to the indoor portion of the restaurant where you'll actually go in and order. It's all coming together, and I think this place is gonna be open pretty soon. It's definitely close. So everyone, that's the latest going on in the world of Disney today here in Walt Disney World. Be sure to subscribe to those notifications on so you don't miss any of the news on the way. There's definitely a lot happening in Walt Disney World right now. Live from Epcot, this is Brayden. Thank you so much for watching. Have a magical day.